Welcome back guys. Here we will try to understand how you can cast one object to the other object, right? So this is you can say that it's a real-time use case where a lot of time when we design a project we convert one object to the other object and we try to get the advantage of that object, casted object, right? So how do you do that? It's a pretty simple, straightforward, but if you don't know you won't be able to do that. So you have a class is equal to a, right, and you have method is equal to there is one method called test2. Okay, there is one method called test2. Try to remember, you have a class, you have only one method test2, it has only print statement, nothing else. Now this is one class. Now you have class b extends a, which means this will be the parent class and b will be the child class. This is inheritance concept. I think you guys might be aware of because I have covered before this. And this b has only one method, test1. Okay, b has one method test1, whereas a has method test2. You are using the inheritance, right? You are using the inheritance. Now in the main method you are creating the reference of parent class object of child class, which is perfectly fine, which is allowed. I think I have told you in the when I was talking about abstract class in Java and interface. I think in abstract class I have told you this is possible. You can create the reference of parent class and object of child class. Even you can create the reference of interface object of concrete class. You can create the reference of abstract class object of concrete class. Concrete class is nothing but normal class. Okay, same thing here. You are getting the reference and object of b. Now through this reference you are calling that test2. Okay, through this reference what you are trying to do is you are trying to call test2. Okay, sorry, yes, yeah. So you are trying to call test2, right? Is it possible to call test1 through the reference of a? No, because you know that method call happens at compile time from the reference class. Okay, what is the reference? A has only one method, test2 method. Can I call test1 method also on the a reference? Not possible. Let me show you. This is very interesting example guys, try to understand. Sorry, here. So you have a reference of a, and what happens is when you do obj.te, okay, so only test2 is available here, because you need to understand that compile time method call happens from the reference class. And what is the reference class? A class, which has only one method, which is test2 method, right? So here I cannot call test1 method, but I have a requirement where, though let's say I have a reference of parent class, I want to call both the method. How do I do that? How do I achieve that? What I did, I created one more object. Just to understand you, I created one more object where I have changed the reference, because you cannot create duplicate reference. Similarly, you cannot create duplicate variable also, right? Your reference should be different. Of course you can create more than one integer type of data type, but the reference of data type should not, name should not be same, otherwise you will get a compile time. I cannot write here obj, you cannot, a reference should be different, right? That's where your object identifications will happen. So what I did here is, look at this, I wanted to call test1 also. So what I did, this reference of a, okay, take piece by piece, you'll understand very well, keep some space. I am casting this reference of a with b object. So how do you do casting? If you remember, as I said, to cast anything, if you recollect my previous video, I just say to cast anything in parenthesis, write the type where you want to cast. So I want to cast in the b, I want to cast in the b, but on this reference I want to call the method, right? On this reference. So what you do, you put one more parenthesis, right? Because you have casted it. Now you can call test1 method, and you can also call test2 method, because anyways test2 is available. Anyways test2 is available to this b object, right? Then you might be thinking, why I'm doing like this? Why can't I just go and create the reference of b itself, and child class will get method of parent also and child also. This is also perfectly fine, guys. I'm just trying to make you understand how you can convert one object to other object and how you can get advantage of it. Okay, this is also fine. So you can see that I casted your object, which was reference was A. This object type was A. I have casted to a child class. I made this object type is a B. Now the type of object is the B, and you can see that you can call test1 method and test2 method. Both method will get called. Okay. So you can see that both the method is getting called. But again, I think here let me write test2. So you can see that this benefit, right, how type casting happens, right? Test2, test1, test2. So here this two method is getting called and print is getting executed. Now you will be thinking, why I added one additional parenthesis? Because earlier I said you just write data type and where you want to change, right? But again, on this reference I want to call method, right? So on this entire reference I want to call. If I will not write this, let's say if I will not write this, if I will not write this, compiler will not understand on what reference you want to call. You want to call on this reference or you want to call on this reference. That is the reason I added one more parenthesis, so that compiler will understand on this entire object reference I want to call test1 method and test2 method. So that's how you can convert one object to the different object. Now when you convert this one object into the other object, look at here, just write like this, and you just write type is equal to, just place mouse over here, create local variable. Interesting, right? Here the type is B, whereas here the object type is A. You can see that after type casting your type is also changing. In previous object the type was A, here the type is B. So your object type is changing when you do this casting, okay. Here you don't need to write, one more parenthesis, because you are storing this entire object into another reference. You are storing the entire object into the another reference. Here you don't need to call, here you can just call type.test1. This is simple, right? And type.test2, right? So guys, one more thing, when I discuss here, a lot of times these things are not captured in my PDF. So please keep a printout of my PDF. When you are watching my video, please keep handy, make a notes, okay? That's how you will learn more, okay? So that's how you convert one object to the other object. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this. In next video I'll try to cover some more concepts.